Drake, again, we're on single-payer healthcare.
Sure. So the first part of the question, yes, I do support a single-payer healthcare system. If I have to hear one more time that Massachusetts has 97%, 98% covered, I'm going to scream. It doesn't matter if we have health insurance if you can't afford your health insurance. If you can't afford your deductible, 1 in 5, you can't get access to care. 1 in 3 bankruptcies in Massachusetts is still due to medical debt. So I can't hear that we have the best healthcare system in the country and then watch where people can't afford when they're making the choices between food and medicine for their child. When the woman unfortunately got her leg stuck in the orange line and was screaming that she couldn't get on the ambulance because she can't afford it, tell that woman that we have the best healthcare system in the world. We need to get off this broken track and stop spending money for profits. You can't treat healthcare as a commodity, and this is the system that we're in, and I can't stand by and say double down into a market-based solution. We have got to get out of this train we're on, and so that's my 2 cents.
Thank you, folks.
I'm not sure how we would implement that, but I have no problem with it. I have no problem with explaining, voting, making my vote public, and explaining why I support a particular position. But I also want people to understand that at the beginning of every legislative session, we start out with 6,000 pieces of legislation. So that the process is something that we all have to work together with to figure out how to communicate what we're doing.
Thank you, Ture.
Okay, so obviously I support this bill, and I support all transparency and accountability for our government. I think we've lost so much of that conversation. But to be clear, I think this is worth clarification. This vote came up and Liz voted against it. So, I mean, it's great that she now wants to go forward and change that and, see how we could do it. But I want to say that we've already had this conversation and there was a no vote on this.
Okay, Liz.
I don't know which of many of the votes that I've taken you're referring to. We've gone through the committee process, and basically any questions that anyone has, I'm open to in my office. If you know my staff, you'll see 3 or 4 of them here tonight. Again, I don't understand what the question was referring to.
You guys, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. We're talking about the future of really what we're talking about is democracy and where we want to go as a state. And it's been so long since Massachusetts has been in the front. We look to California and Illinois to protect themselves from EPA. We look for other states to protect themselves against ICE, but we're not leading that conversation. People ask, why is a progressive running against a progressive? That's what I've heard, from people on the doors. Well, it's your definition of what a progressive is. I've been working with Bernie Sanders and Don Berwick, and I think that the definition of progressive has changed in the last 20 years. I believe in debt-free college. My opponent has voted, against that. I believe in transparency and accountability. I believe that there's term limits for our speaker, and that way we don't have an out-of-control one person, 1 out of 160, telling us what the rest of the state has to do. I'm definitely against that, where my opponent has voted for that. I believe in smart zoning reform. My opponent has not supported that bill. And I definitely believe in a single-payer system, and that is not a piece of legislation my opponent has ever co-sponsored. I've been fighting for... Okay, you guys. Obama says that if you're unhappy with your elected officials, pick up a clipboard and get out there and do that. That's what I'm doing. I picked up this clipboard because I am unhappy with where our state is going, and I think we could do better with bold progressive leaders. So that's a little bit about me. I'm asking for your guys' vote and your support. My name is Ture Turnbull. Thank you.